So we're now recording. Well, first of all, thank you for coming. Greetings. I'm glad that we finally are getting together. There won't be a lot of meetings like this um, because after this, I would rather go one-on-one with each one of you. But I thought to kind of lay the groundwork, because this is a very important group to this whole venture, that it would be good to go through things so everybody is clear and we can get started. I mentioned to you about the video part, and I'm sorry that I can't have everybody's picture on here, but it just wouldn't. It doesn't work with recording. If I wasn't recording it, but for the couple of people that aren't here, they'll be able to see the whole meeting, hear everything, and be able to take advantage of it. As we go here, if you want to ask a question, I think the best way to do it is to go to the chat box and say, I have a question. And I will stop what I'm talking about as soon as I can, and I'll take the question. But I am going to leave quite a bit of time at the end for questions and comments and discussions. So I'll try to get through the material I have to get through as quickly as we can, and still, I got to make sure that everything is understood. This group, I guess maybe my vision is different than yours, or maybe yours is a little bit incomplete because of the way it started. But this group is really starting this thing that I hope will grow to a large ending to it. I'm very much into, as you know, trying to help coaches. But I don't think, I've never felt that Basketball Talk Pro can answer that kind of work that needs to be done. And so this, though, could be an answer to a lot of things that I think that need to be done. But it'll take time to grow, and but that's part of anything. But let me tell you what my intentions are with this. Growing out of this, 11 people have paid to take this class, and did somebody say something? Well, I'll go on.
Coach, I got real quick while you drop. If anyone's typing in the background, if they could just please put their phone on mute or microphone on mute, because it was breaking in and out a little bit for me, hard to hear with the keyboard in the background.
That was me.
No big deal. I was just I thought maybe it was my phone. I appreciate it.
Okay. Is everybody okay?
Thank
you. My goal or intention is to someday, I think I can keep going till 2019, and I would like to develop this training course so that we touch 2,750 coaches. And that you remember why that number, well, it just works out that I think we can touch a lot of players. Most coaches in a 5-year period will be pretty intimate in their relationship with about 65 to 70 players. Well, if we if we train 2,750 coaches, that means we would touch the lives of about 100, almost 179,000 players that would, if, that would get the benefit of very, very good coaching, because anybody who can get through this course is going to be well trained to coach. And I don't think that that's true. And a lot of coaches, and I'm not only talking, I'm talking college and even the NBA. I think that, when I went through, um, a lot of those guys are poorly trained. They're learning on the job, so to speak. And that's fine. And you have to have that, but it doesn't have the depth. So at every level, I think we need something. There's no other course like this. I don't, maybe you guys have heard of one, but I've never heard of it, where a coach gets 60 some hours of training over a period of time. So I think we're taking a really big step if we can make this, this whole thing work. And really, you guys are the beginning, and some people that I'm I'm dependent on because I can't do it alone. The growth can't come from just me. But I wanted to be very clear that I'm thinking of helping a lot of people, trying to help a lot of coaches, because in the end, what we're doing is we're helping players so that they can get not only the most out of a basketball career, because we know that there's only a few that go on, but that it can carry over to whatever they do. Personally, my life is only basketball, but I know that that isn't true of everybody's. And so a lot of the players that I've coached are not coaching. They're not playing. Some are doctors, some are lawyers, some are. But I think that we touched them, helped them to learn these things. So, but I'm building this course. I built this course on one particular video that I made. I called it the 5 Steps Coaching Mastery. I've changed that to now being precepts to coaching mastery. But the idea is to strive for enough excellence that someday, regardless of where you're coaching, that you're reaching to be a master, which very few people can be. But to know the craft well enough and to have the not title so much, but the feeling of being a master of your craft. And that was the 5 steps were. The first one was you got to want to be a master. And if you recall the next segment I had, Phil Jackson had, put in his idea, which I think was a good one, in that he felt that one of the important things in becoming a master, and he is one, was a very high competitive spirit. And he was, as I got thinking about it, I guess I took it for granted. I just assumed that all coaches love to compete. But I'm not sure that's right. In order to drive yourself to be a master, you have to love to compete. You have to, it's your way of showing your competence. And he brought that out. In fact, actually, he got so interested in it, he started doing research, to find out if this was a viable thing, and I think it is. That's the first step. But when I say that you want to be a master, I'm not talking, everybody wants to be one, but only a few have the burning desire to be one. And as he pointed out, and this comes from your competitive spirit. That's the one thing we can't teach in this course. This has to come from the individual. They have to want to have it so bad that they're willing to do the things that are not fun to do. A lot of our part of our profession are not fun things. Parents, alumni, owners, players. I don't think I've ever coached a year that every player on that team was, perfect person to be around and handle. A lot of them, you don't even like to be around them, but you still have to coach them. So it takes a lot of drive, and I don't think you will have that unless you have a burning desire to really meet these goals. Self-training is number 2. That's now we all the rest of the 4 things we will handle in this course. This is a self-training course. You have to train yourself along with guidance. This course is something that no one else has ever done. To my other than some of those those national federations, really.
I gave him, since I got 2 sandwiches, 2 was from, I gave him food, I gave him some I gave him some of my phones.
That's disturbing. Could you mute that? Because you're going to have to do this on your own, pretty much. Now, we will get into another part of it in a little bit, but it's really going to be you doing it throughout each of the steps. And then there's this part that I call hidden secrets. It's hard to even explain this, but if you've been in this business as long as I have, which is over 50 years, and I've had the benefit of great coaches, great, level, college and the NBA and internationally. There's things that they know that they don't even talk about, that you need to find, and you can only find that by really digging in deep into this profession. And that isn't only just getting new drills and offenses and defenses. That's all a big part of it. But there's a lot more that goes on. And as the longer you coach, and Dick Lean is here, and he's coached a long time, and I think he'll agree with me. There's a tons of little things that coaches don't talk about at clinics. They don't write in their books. The only way you can find them is to throw yourself into this and learn those things. The fourth thing is building a system. I can honestly say this. I don't know how many coaches I know coached against, coached with, not many I've coached with, have gotten to know. They all, I can tell you this, all of them, every single one of them have the right qualities it takes to be a coach. There's no bad people in there. Yeah, there's a lot of bad people. Can be a lot of bad people in coaching. But those guys that get to the top, they have qualities about them. I've listed 7 of them. They have them. And the other thing they have is a system. They're not grabbing at fragmented things. Take a look. What's Phil coached? Over 20 years in the NBA. He's won 11 rings. Same system every year. San Antonio guy, same system. You can go back 10 years, he's running the same stuff. Jerry Sloan, who probably had, and I think everybody in the NBA would agree with this, probably ran the best offense of any coach that's been around. 23 years, same offense, same defense. Their system is what was taking care of them all the way. So that's an important step. And the last one is mentorship. I think you need to have someone mentoring you. I didn't personally, but I did have a relationship with some top coaches. John Wooden, I spent a night with him that I'll never forget. I mean, he opened up to me doors that I had never even thought of. Al McGuire, I thank him to this day. The time that I was able to spend with him, I spent almost 2 years with Nellie, which is a different situation, but I learned a lot about the NBA from Nellie. Not so much on the floor, but politics of the NBA, and so you're learning if you can be around those people, and we're going to talk more about that towards the end of this meeting. Now, that's how I'm thinking of this whole course. The only thing we don't touch is number 1. That's got to come from the individual. But everything else, you go through the 83 videos, and you're going to find a lot of, if you're really studying them, you're going to find a lot of secrets, a lot of those hidden secrets. And it will take you tremendous self-discipline and self-determination to go through the way that we want you to do. There will be no bad coaches coming out of any of this if they go through all the part of it. That I will guarantee you, because the weaker ones won't make it. It's going to take drive to make it. And so that's part of the weeding out process. It's some aren't going to be able to climb it, and so, but that's okay. In my book, they'll find something else that maybe they can have the passion for, that drives them to reach mastery. And now I'll go quickly through the coursework. If you read the manual that comes with this, with the package, it's pretty clear in there what you are to do. But let me explain the videos, because I don't I don't want this. This is a critical part of it. When you should do the videos in order. They're in modules. And do them in order. Don't skip around. You know, you see something ahead that you think is interesting, take it step by step. It's the best way. But when you do it, you should be taking notes. You should be working with enough interest that you're taking notes during each one. Now, B.G. Mumford has already started. He's done 8 already, 8 videos. He's taken notes. He sent the form in. That's the other thing. When you're finished, it's a very simple form, and we're going to look at it in just a little bit. Just enough to know, but you should be able to read a couple sentences about what that video is about. And once you do that, I'm going to show you now, right now, and I want you to email that to me, and I'm going to keep a file, and you should keep a file. Now I'm going to pull that sheet up right now. I'm going to give you an idea of how you might be able to work with it. If you type right on the form you got that's in that package, you can type it and type the whole thing. Then all you got to do is save as and put the title of the video title. You should put all this on and save it as by the title and put it onto your computer, and then you have it. Then to send it to me, all you have to do is take my email address and attach it, and then you can take it. And what I would suggest you do is with that hard drive, just take the folder and copy and paste it to that folder, and then that's all there is to it. Then when you come the next time, just delete everything but your name and type it again. So it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be too laborious. The big part is that you go through the video carefully and learn as much as you can from it. But this form, you sign it and date it. You just say, yeah, and here in the description, just a couple of sentences. I was going to have one, but I couldn't get it on here that BJ had done. He did, 8 of them, and they were nicely done and just very precise sentences. And I knew he had to have gone through that very carefully to write those sentences. So this is something that you have to do for 83 of them to get through the entire course. I figure it's going to take you 61 hours to complete it. But listen, 61 hours. If you have a 40-hour job, you put in that's a week and a half of work. You can, I think you can do that for your coaching career. So that's the report sheet, and it's on the hard drive that you have gotten or will be getting if you haven't gotten it already. Then the book. You only got books. You either had one or you got it in the package. You should read volume 1 completely as soon as you can. That will help you with understanding all parts of what we're doing. I'm going to mention this right now. we're going to follow the monk system. And you have to be willing to have an open mind about that. And the reason for it is very simple. I don't know any other system. I can't. But a system is a system. I think you'll see, if you haven't already, by the time you're done, how that system fits together. So we're going to use the monk system. Now, when you get done, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But while you're doing this course, you have to be willing to absorb that system and learn from it how to build a system. My contention is that very few coaches think about a system, and a lot of them don't know how to do it. I don't know how many guys I've talked to, they call me the problems and everything. They don't have a clue on how to build a system. We're going to learn that in this course, so it's that book will help you to figure that out. Now, some of you have done the statistic course, but I believe that the statistic course is very important to a full education of a coach. And I would like you to wait on that, though, if you haven't done it. Some of you have done it. I would like you to wait on that until you've done the first module. And then let me know, and I'll give you a link. It's part of the package, so you don't pay for it. Then you can get the course through Udemy. But all it requires me to give you
television. Can you hold off because I'm on a video conference meeting? Yeah, no problem. It will it picks up everything. No problem.
What is that?
Hey Ricky, can you mute your microphone?
Sure.
Thank you.
And then the classes. We got 9 classes throughout the summer. I wanted to do this because it gives us a chance to get into certain areas in a little bit more depth. Before we leave today, when we get into the question part, I want you to tell me what kind of days would be best, because that's always a problem. But we will record them, and then I'll talk to you about that. Classes. Well, let me move on to the next thing. In order for this to be a realistic course, and here's my thinking is I'm going to start approaching athletic directors on this. I think athletic directors can put themselves in a position where their coaches have to take something like this, but in order for us to be legitimate, like I'm going to try to get graduate credit for it. I'm going to try to get the NBA Coaches Association to certify it. Michael and I have already discussed it, and there's some other things. But you see, they're not going to be interested unless there's some responsibility here. So the next step to get that responsibility is I'm going to use kind of a point, not a kind of a point system, a definite point system, and I'm going to pull that up now so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you about the title first of all, Master of Basketball Coaching, MBC. you know, in the business world, and a lot of you know this, they have a thing called the MBA. That is a high-level thing. Uh, and you know, businesses want their people to get that MBA, helps their career, but it's a lot like what we're doing right now. They have to go to classes. They either get it online or go to classes. Some of them are very, very tough to get through, but it stands for something. I would like us to have the same thing in basketball. Uh, and that's why I gave it this title, Master of Basketball Coaching, and instead of MBA, it's MBC. But in order for me to justify that, there has to be some responsibility. So here's how I'm going to be able to see for myself that things are being done, but also point out to anybody else, you know, like an athletic director or the people with the NBA Basketball Coaches Association, whoever, so they know that this thing is legitimate. And here's how the points are. The measuring basketball performance, you have a potential of 360 points. Only one guy has ever reached that. It's not that difficult. A lot of you have been very close. So you've already got points, and you probably, knowing the people, you probably have read the book. So you know you've got points from that area also. But the video study is a big aspect of it. The video study has a lot in it. You know, it's been a real effort. I'm surprised that we just did a 201. I didn't ever believe I could do that, but those videos, every one of them have something in coaching that you can gather from it. This is where you're going to find those hidden secrets I was talking about. Well, you get 15 points per every video. Every time you send me that sheet, you get 15 points. The potential, 1,245 points. If I get all of them. Now, that may not happen, but you don't need, you know, there's cutoffs, and I'll show you those a little bit later. Every class is 100 points. You get as long as I can see you on this, you know, my little chart here of people that are here, that you've gone through the whole class. You don't have to do anything. I'll award them to you. But if you can't make a class and have to do it by a recording, that'll be fine. You do the recording, but then I'm going to have a quiz for you that you have to show. I have to know that you watched that recording intensely. Now the next one, mentoring. I can't mentor 2,750 coaches, my goal. I can't mentor more than 10. Taking on 10 is a lot. So what I'm hoping that some of you will be willing to mentor, so that every coach that goes through here has a mentor, somebody helping them, somebody calling them up and saying, hey, you haven't done this yet, you need to do this, and talk about their career, help them. Mentoring someone or two people or three people is a part of the learning. You will find that you learn a lot by trying to help somebody else learn. And it just is a natural thing. You don't have to do it, but I want you to do it. And if you, and when we get to compensation, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, I'll clear up some of the other areas. But if you mentor another coach, help him through, you get 500 points for each coach, because that's work. Your total points possible then are 4,005 points. That's a big number. I could have cut all these points down and it would have been a little bit better, a little bit smaller number. But by having a bigger number, it's easier to get percentages, so that we can put you into certain categories. And I'm going to show you those categories right now. My cursor is a little. These are the levels. Outstanding would be somewhere in the area of 3,605 points to 4,005. Excellent, 2,804 to 3,604. Average, 1,202 to 2,803. Below average, as you can see, I don't go below that. I didn't want to put poor on here. But now here comes competitiveness. This is going to tell me a lot. You know, that guy that got that perfect score on that measuring basketball performance, he did it in 10 days. That's how long it took him to take the whole course. He never missed a question. That is competitiveness. That's wanting to prove how good you are, and that's what we do in this business. Our only proof is our record. Our only proof is the scoreboard. In this class, I wanted to urge you to seek excellence. You should want to be outstanding. And if you have that kind of push in you, I will guarantee you that if you put Vince Lombardi in this, he would want to be in that 3,605 points and up. He would work night and day to reach that. And almost every coach that reaches that certain level would be like that. They wouldn't need pushing. This is all they'd need, and they would want to reach it. So that's our point system. Now I'm going to move on to the very last thing, and then we can talk. And that is mentoring. And mentoring has a compensation aspect to it. Anybody who recruits a coach to this class, whatever amount that they come in under, we're in the sale right now, but when the sale goes off, the price goes up, we'll get 25% of what is paid. Automatic. I mean, you bring a guy in, you go talk to coaches, call them or whatever, and say this is a good thing. You got to believe in it. You won't get anybody if you don't believe in it. And bring them in. You'll get 25%. I'm not sure what it is in one category. I think it's close to $100. And so, I mean, if you did 10 of them, you know, you'd more than pay for this course. But there's another aspect of it. And to do that, I'm going to have to move this around a little bit. But be patient with this. Can you see those circles up there? I think you can, because I had my wife check it. But I want to explain it to you. Say you're one of these 11 guys, these 11 coaches, which you are, and you recruit, and just recruit one person right here. You get 25%. But now if you mentor that person, then you get a little bit more. Say you recruit this guy, this person recruits 2 people. Okay? Now, he would get 25% of those to each one of those. But this person who mentored him gets 7% of each of those people. Now, we take it down a step. These 2 people, just for, let's say this one recruits and mentors because you mentored him how to do it, 3 people. Well, first of all, he gets his commission of 25%. But secondly, this guy here gets 7% of each one of them. And he gets 7. This guy over here recruits and mentors 2. He gets 7% of all 5 people. This guy does too, because he mentored him, who mentored them, who recruited them. And it can go on and on forever. So you guys are lucky because you have a chance to build an organization of many, many coaches. And every time they purchase a package, you get a part of it. How much that'll be, I have no way of knowing. In fact, I just am trying to work with you. I want you to be, I don't want you to think of the money so much, as I just feel you need to be rewarded if you're taking on the responsibility of mentoring. So you don't have to do any of that in my mind, but I'm hoping some of you will. But if you do it, I want you to be compensated as best we can. The packages are not very expensive, so 25% isn't maybe a lot of money. But if you do 2 or 3, there's probably some value to that. But the value is going to be in your own work, what you get out of it, other than the financial part of it. Well, I hope I've gotten the points across to you. I'm very excited about what we're doing. Inwardly, I'm very excited. I may not act like it, but it's something that when I started Basketball Talk Pro, that this was this is what I wanted to do. I had seen the power of training in China. I had never been trained. None of you guys have. But I took 14 coaches in China that couldn't understand me. China had a very resistant method of teaching players. That's what the NBA wanted me to do. It was change, show them a better way, because the NBA wants Chinese players. They make a ton of money over there. But Yao Ming is now retired. They got no Chinese players. Chinese people love NBA basketball. And so, but I was given 14 coaches. Half of them weren't even basketball people. But by the end of a year, there were a lot of good coaches because we had, they were getting paid. I could do anything I wanted with them. We had classes. We went out on the floor. They had to coach a team. They had to run practices. They had to coach them in games. Those coaches that were there all year during the school year, 9, 10 months, I think it was, would coach over 100 games in that length of time. And it was remarkable to me how they became so adept. I mean, they were doing things that people here aren't doing. They were breaking down films. They were statistics. I mean, they were, it was amazing to watch. And so when I came back from there, that's what I wanted to do. And that Basketball Talk Pro is the first step. This is the major step. So I'm hoping that we can add something to our this profession, and a lot of that is professionalism. That's I think we need that. I'd like to now open it up for questions or comments, anything. And you might have to, you can speak right out and ask a question, or you can type into that little chat box, and then I can, I'll just recognize you, so we can take care of anything you want to do. I say questions, but it can be comments too if you got something to say about something. Boy, that is silence.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah?
This is Ricky Gleason. How you doing?
Good. Go ahead.
Ron, a quick question. In terms of the mentoring, when would that take place, meaning within a 6-month time frame, or is it as quickly as we go through the process of, when I say the process, the coursework and the completion and the end result of being evaluated?
My idea was to try to get at least you guys through by the beginning of the next season. There is no really deadline, but when you get into the season, then things get kind of hectic. So my idea was that we could do it now and get the work done. You could get the work done quite easily between now and the beginning of your next season. But that's not necessarily a deadline that you have to meet. If it takes you a year, it takes you a year. 2 years. It doesn't. It's just getting it done is the main thing.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a question for these classes. We've had meetings before with, just really they were just discussions. And it's hard to find times for coaches. I have found that actually one of the best days we've had is when we did it on Sundays. In the morning, Sunday morning. Most people don't have anything on Sunday morning. But when you get into summer, a lot of times Saturday morning and stuff, if anybody has any ideas on that, I would like to hear them, because then I will schedule those dates, on days when it would be easiest for most people.
For me, Ron, this is again Ricky Gleason. I know I also do AAU, and it's going to really start in the next 2 weeks. My weekends will be taken up Saturday and Sunday, depending on game times. So for me, either day it wouldn't matter. I most likely may have to go through the recording process and then take a test, depending on my schedule and the time frame, because I'm on the West Coast, so I know I'm a little 3 hours difference from you.
We could do them on nights of the week, but then, you know, we run into the same thing. Some people got most of their nights you know, pretty well taken up. But it seems to me that one of the best nights is Monday night, because usually, I don't know, it just seems like things haven't got rolling yet. The nights are no problem. You know, we've got, you know, I don't know, Arthur is in Russia, and I don't know exactly what time zone you're on, Arthur. Is there any particular nights or days that you would, that are better for you? One coach just said Monday nights would work for him.
Monday nights would probably be good for me too, Coach. Weekends are going to be pretty tied up for me.
Is that Joe?
Yes, sir.
The weekends you're tied up. Monday night would be better. Is that right?
Yeah, same thing. We have AAU basketball most every weekend, something going on, or every other weekend.
Well, that's fine with me Monday night, but are you saying, Joe, that Monday night would be better?
I think Monday nights would work best for me also. I think Monday nights would work best for me also.
Okay. Arthur, would you mind putting that up again? I couldn't quite read it fast enough. It kind of disappeared on me. If you wouldn't mind putting what you wrote up again. Okay. We're getting a lot of people saying Monday night is okay. So we can do that. You know, if we start, I think we've done it both ways. We could, if we did it at 8, wait a minute. Oh, if we did it at 8 on the West Coast, that would be 5. I'd rather do it at 7 personally. That would be 4 o'clock, and I don't know, Arthur, probably, you know, I can work with Arthur individually and see what his time is, but that's a, you know, the time zones are a problem. We got guys on both coasts and in the middle, and then internationally too, so it's, but we can work it, you know, we'll try. Why don't we start? And the first one, by the way, will probably be in about a week. We'll start on Monday night. We'll start at, say, 7:30 on Monday night and see how it works. And if we have to, you know, we'll make adjustments. We are going to record each session. So you can watch it on recording, you know, but I don't think it's as good as being live. But let's leave it like that. Monday night, I'm going to make out I have a schedule. I just don't have the dates yet on those 9 classes, and I'll email it to you, to everyone. And but I'll be talking to each one of you personally. You know, I intend to. I'd like to catch up with all of you and be more personal than than emails or meetings. You know, because going one-on-one, we get a lot more done. I feel. But I'm not. I am going to, by the way, on the meetings, on those classes, I'm going to open that up to Basketball Talk Pro, but they're going to have to pay. You guys have paid. They're going to have to pay. But if they pay, you know, the reason I want to do it is if a guy is if a guy is you know, on the fence, so to speak, or whether he wants to do this, it gives him a chance to see what it's like, and it may help bring some people in. But it isn't fair for you guys to pay and them not to pay, so they'll have to pay. Anybody else got anything?
Coach, I do. On the video study, how do we get the sheets? Is that going to be emailed to us to fill out?
It's in the hard drive that you got, Joe.
Oh, okay. Everything is in the hard drive that we need for video study.
Yeah. If you look, there's you know, there's folders, and there's one folder that has the manual and the sheet in it.
Okay.
Everything's in that hard drive, and you still got almost 200 gigabytes to work with. You know, and it's a good place to just keep everything. You know, then you make your own folder and put all those sheets that you do, put them in there, and then you have them. Or you can make a notebook. I personally, you know, I like notebooks better than computer folders, but you know, you don't have as much paperwork if you have it on a computer. I think Dick Lean has got. Are you still on, Dick?
I am.
Okay. Dick does a great.
Yeah, I'm here.
Dick does a great job of doing those videos, and I think he's got his notebook already done. But by the way, Dick has got a great background, and it's interesting to me to see a man that has spent his life in basketball like Dick has, at the very top. You know, he's been a head coach in Division I, been an international head coach, been an assistant for about 4 or 5 big programs, and still has a hunger to learn, and it's encouraging to me that someone with that kind of a background, but usually it's guys like that want the most, because they've kind of scaled the mountain, and they know how tough it is, and what you kind of grasp at every little piece of knowledge you can get. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would ask a question about the mentoring of anybody we recruit. When would you be looking for us to start mentoring new people?
It depends on who it is. I've worked personally with you on that, each person. But I think that, you know, here's the thing about mentoring. You have to have done it yourself. You know, you can't try to help people if you haven't done it. You know, so I think if you've gone through Module 1, BJ, or the measuring basketball basketball performance, I think you'll be ready to go to work on them. However, if you have coaches that you can reach out to and want to bring them in, let's talk about it. And it's no sense waiting. If you got some people in mind, I will help you with that. So just let me know, and we'll work on with this group. We'll work on kind of a one-on-one basis to see how things are going.
Okay.
Well, this isn't the end. The meeting is just the part. I will be working with each one of you. If there's questions at that time, we can work them out. But the main thing is that the enthusiasm is there. First of all, that this program can do you personally some good. That that you're going to grow as a coach, going through the step by step. You're going to have to develop qualities, especially self-discipline, especially self-determination, because it is a self-training course. That you come out of it, that'll help your career. But along the way, if we can bring more people in by word of mouth, which is really the best way. I'm not going to advertise. I didn't promote Basketball Talk Pro. I never have. And because I'd rather have people join us because they've gotten a reference from somebody that has done it. So, I guess that's it then, unless you got anything else. Well,
Ron, this is Ricky Gleason again. I have a quick question. In terms of the cohorts that are with me in starting this off, and I know this is a self-training class, are we to interact with one another as well in terms of via email, or is this more, again, on our own, but then we're working directly with you?
You mean working with me?
Well, I know we're going to be working with you, but say, for instance, I see BJ's name up, so I'm just using him as an example. But let's say the other gentlemen that are involved, are we to reach out to them and also talk to them as well and use this as a opportunity? Also, we're working with you, but
of course,
to discuss with them.
What I'll do is provide everybody with the names and emails of all of us, because you definitely no problem helping each other out.
Okay. Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yes.
You could. I mean, and my phone number that can be shared also. But I have a quick question. I think there seems to be some questioning on the mentoring process, and I have one myself. From your perspective, would it help to have an outline of what the role of a mentor should be? And that would maybe help us understand when we could start to mentor.
Well, I have a video, and I have actually a PowerPoint type of presentation for recruiting. I have to adjust it a little bit, but what my plan is, Joe, is to have put up a video that explains everything so that you can go to that to get more background. But also, the main part of it will be me mentoring you and, and letting you know all of these things, answers to your questions. It's got to be a lot of one-on-one. And when you mentor somebody, it's got to be the same way. But I am going to provide some, videos that can be looked at in that regard, and probably a short PowerPoint presentation that a coach could use to talk to another coach. This is an ongoing process. We're going to have to find out how things work. There's going to be things that we have to change, of course. So hopefully not, but I think that by working with each other, we'll get all the questions answered. But now, this is a time too when we can work out some of that stuff. But Joe, yes, there'll be training part to mentoring. I hope.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I hope all of you take an interest, because one, you're helping somebody, and two, you're helping yourself. I think you'll see that being put in a position where you're trying to help somebody else do something, you learn a lot, and you also are going to make some, make some relationships with some people. Thank you for showing up, and I hope that this course, is really a good experience for you, and I think it will be, but it's not going to be easy. Is that it?
Thank you.
Okay.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Yep. Well,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Okay. I'm going to cut us off.